The Reform and Funding Bill for Chicagoland's Regional Transportation Authority failed to pass by the end of the spring legislative session on May 31st. So the biggest question is, what now? There are actually a few more options. Right now, signs could be pointing towards a special session during the summer to address the fiscal cliff. While the main legislative session happens during the spring, the Illinois General Assembly has the ability to call emergency sessions outside of springtime. They could also wait for the fall veto session, where dead bills have a second chance to pass. Another option could be to flex highway funding towards transit, like Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro did for Philadelphia's SEPTA, but this would only be a short-term solution. Either way, it's clear that Illinois legislators keep kicking the can further and further down the road. Since some of them say that there will be no funding without reform, HB 3438 would have provided both reform and funding, but it only passed the Senate and didn't make it to the House. They can all agree that the RTA needs reform, but they can't agree on how they want to go about doing it. The longer we go without finding a solution, the closer we get to going over the cliff and plunging into a draconian future of 40% service cuts. The RTA hasn't detailed what that could look like yet, but I can make a hypothesis. No more yellow line, no more purple line, possibly no more pink line or orange line, no more Forest Park branch on the blue line, no more Southside Main line on the green line, no more Metro Electric Blue Island branch. Only 3 round trips per weekday on the North Central service and Southwest service, and no more Pace weekend service. If more people knew just how bad it could be, maybe more action would be taken. If these cuts happen, it could take 5 or more years to restore service, and some service may never be restored. For example, Pace Bus Route 382 was suspended during the COVID-19 pandemic and it still hasn't been restored as of 2025. If Metro reduces service, it would take many years to restore it due to them having to negotiate with freight railroads for 9 out of their 11 lines. The city of Chicago cannot afford to cut down the size of the L by half, and it cannot afford to reduce the city bus network to the size of Madison, Wisconsin. You heard that right. The 3rd largest city in America could end up with less bus routes than Madison, Wisconsin. I still don't think that we will go over the fiscal cliff since the result would be so devastating, but the fact that we're in this position in the first place is very scary and should have never happened. If you don't want Chicagoland's public transit system to go over the fiscal cliff and face ridiculous service cuts, we need your help. If you have an Illinois address on your ID, click on the link in the description of this video to find the elected officials for your district and their contact information. Please contact your state senator and representative and urge them to push for an emergency session over the summer to address the fiscal cliff. Calling them is best, but emailing them is fine too. If they ask you for bills you support, you could say HB 3438 and SB 2111. We need to turn up the heat and keep the pressure on our lawmakers to step up and take action. I will also link a Discord server in the description where a few friends and I have been planning events to spread awareness about the fiscal cliff. If you want to go beyond contacting your elected officials and do more to spread awareness as an activist, this server is the place for you. Illinois citizens, we need your help to make sure that every Chicagoland resident continues to have a reliable mode of transportation no matter if they drive or not. There is still lots of work to be done to ensure a positive future for Chicagoland's public transit. The fight is not over yet.